The holidays have come and gone, but have your sugar cravings? Today, I'm going to go over 5 super simple ways to train your brain to crave quinoa and kale instead of cake and cupcakes. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Samantha, a certified nutritional health coach, and I love helping overwhelmed, frustrated women learn how to reach their health goals in a way that is unrestricted. Even the best, healthiest people out there experience cravings from time to time. Maybe you're sitting around watching TV and all of a sudden you get the urge to eat a brownie right now. Or maybe you're at work and it's around 3 o'clock in the afternoon and you can literally hear the M&Ms in the vending machine calling your name. Once you master the following techniques, I think that you're going to notice that when you're actually physically hungry, your cravings will lean more towards the nutritious foods more often than they will the junky foods, especially this time of year when you're just coming off eating junky foods around the holidays. So the first and most important step in overcoming cravings is recognizing when you're actually physically hungry. Instead of your body telling you that it really wants certain foods, in that moment, I want you to identify if it's a craving or if you're actually really physically hungry. So you can be sure to kind of treat it the right way. So do a little digging. If you notice it is a craving, figure out what's triggering the craving and the desire to eat in the first place. So are you bored and just need something to do? Or do you need a break from working or studying really hard? If your answer is anything other than I'm hungry, I need to fill my stomach and nourish my body, then it's a sign that you should find a new way to satisfy yourself. So for example, if you eat when you're bored, maybe think through some ways that you can feel stimulated and entertained in a non-food way. If eating is the best part of your day, what can you do to make your days more enjoyable? What can you look forward to after a hard day's work that isn't food related? And then this next example I'm super guilty of. If you have a big project at work that you need to work on and you want to procrastinate, instead of reaching for some food, what can you do to start tackling that project? Like make a list of steps and start working on small ones one at a time to check things off your list. When I do that, my hunger magically goes away. The second tip is to stop saying, I can't have that. When you say that, when you say you can't have certain foods or it's on your list of food rules as something you're not allowed to eat, you're putting that food on a pedestal and giving it power over you. Like think back to when you were a kid and your mom said, don't play with the figurine on the table or something like that. All you wanted to do was play with that figurine, right? So when you want something and you can't have it or you aren't allowed to have it, you want it even more. So instead, kick those food rules and restrictions to the curb and tell yourself you can have whatever food you want whenever you want it. It doesn't mean you have to eat it all the time, but you know it's on the table. It sounds terrifying, and I know some people are like, oh, then I'll just eat Oreos all day long. It ends up actually having the opposite effect and going the other way. Sure, you might go a little cuckoo on Oreos at first, once they're finally legal to you, but ultimately it removes the food's allure, it puts it on the same playing field, and you can go on with your life without obsessing over it, thinking about it, without any willpower required. Number 3 is to put an end to multitasking while eating. So how easy is it, right, to sit down, watch TV, get zoned out, and demolish a whole bag of chips? Or eat your whole dinner while you're waiting to see who's been chopped next and barely remember what your food tasted like. With these examples, with both of them, you're going to walk away feeling like you wish you had more because you weren't truly satisfied. Your brain did not get the memo that you were eating and it still thinks you're hungry. So whenever you can, try to make eating an independent activity. Turn off the iPad and the TV while you eat. Serve yourself a portion and then eat it mindfully. So sit down, notice its smell, notice its flavors, its textures. This will make eating more enjoyable and help prevent overindulging. Number 4 is to start getting in tune with your body. So notice how food feels in your body after you eat it, immediately and a few hours later. Do you feel tired and sluggish after you eat a meal with gluten and dairy? Do you get heartburn after eating spicy food? Do you have more energy in the afternoon when you ate a non-processed lunch? So by recognizing and seeing patterns with yourself, this will hugely influence the choices that you make when mealtime comes around. So for me, I know that if I eat something sugary in the morning for breakfast, I'm gonna crave sugar all day long, crave sugary foods all day. And it's not because I had sugar, my whole day's ruined, I just crave it. But if I start my day with whole foods balanced, I crave healthy whole foods all day. Which brings me to number 5. So building off that last one, I want you to focus on adding to your diet. Cravings usually come from spikes in our blood sugar and our hormones being out of whack. One of the number one things that causes our blood sugar and our hormones to be all crazy is sugar. The best way to stabilize blood sugar and hormones is obviously avoid sugar, but what's easier than restriction is focusing on adding. So focus on adding protein, healthy fats, complex carbs, and fiber to your diet. At each meal, think about how you can incorporate these 4 areas. You'll find that naturally you not only eat less sugary foods, but you crave more whole foods. So to recap, number 1, identify if you're actually hungry or if it's just a craving, and then what's causing that craving to begin with. Number 2, stop saying I can't have that and legalize foods. Number 3, stop multitasking while you're eating. Focus on your food and be present. Number 4, get in tune with your body, how it feels when you eat foods. And then 5, focus on adding to your diet, protein, healthy fats, complex carbs, and fiber. Don't get discouraged, by the way, if you don't see things happen overnight, but know that you should see a shift really quickly if you're consistent with these steps. Let me know if you have any questions as you start to practice these behavior shifts, and comment below and tell me which step you are going to tackle today. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I will talk to you all soon.